Loan moves for youngsters can sometimes be brilliant. They go somewhere else to ply their trade, get lots of minutes, lots of first team action, and tougher competition than what the under 23s at West Ham can provide. Of course, on the other side of the coin, it can be a complete disaster. They don't get any minutes on the pitch whatsoever. They're sitting on the bench twiddling their thumbs, and it's just a waste of time for the player and both clubs involved. Of course, it can be anything in between. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 6 players currently out on loan from West Ham United and find out how they're getting on at their temporary homes for the season. But don't worry, you don't have to put with me for the whole video. We've got 4 different fans supporting 4 different clubs talking about 4 different players. So we'll find out how the likes of Trott, Annan, Connor, Coventry and Frederick Alves are getting on, not from me, but from fans that watch them every week. Fans of Stevenage, of Peterborough, of Sunderland and of Nancy, of course, as well. But first, it's to me to deal with Nathan Trott and Mipo Odebeko. So let's start with Mipo. I'm going to confess, I was gutted when he first went out on loan. I thought it was the wrong move to do. I felt that there was a place for him in the squad where we currently have at the moment. Lack of sort of competition for Mikel Antonio. And I didn't feel that Mipo would provide competition for Antonio, but I thought he might get minutes here or there if Antonio was ever injured and we needed a natural striker in some games, that Odebeko might get that opportunity. And more importantly, away from the pitch, if you like, that I would just assume, perhaps naively, and I'm still going to assume this, that the training facilities and training and coaching standards would be better for Mipo at West Ham than at Huddersfield Town. But I was excited to see how he'd get on. I thought, here we go, he's going to a decent enough Championship club, and when he first joined Huddersfield, they were doing really well in Championship too. So I thought, go on then, go down to the Championship, get your minutes, get your goals, and come back to West Ham and challenge for a first team squad place, because he signed a new contract before he left. But at Huddersfield, it's been a bit of a disappointment so far, to be honest with you. 4 substitute appearances for Mipo Odebeko, only one of them getting more than 20 minutes on the pitch, and that was against Nottingham Forest. And for the last 6-7 weeks, he's been injured. So no game time for Mipo Odebeko recently at all. So far, it's been a bit of a disaster of a move for him. Some obviously out of his control to some extent because he's been injured, but even when he wasn't injured, he still wasn't in Huddersfield's first team. He still wasn't picking up enough minutes in those 4 substitute appearances. 2 of them were only 3-4 minutes here and there, and that's it really. So Mipo Odebeko, not a great move so far, and one that I'd imagine West Ham are regretting so far. As for Nathan Holland, he's been here for a while. It feels like he's been here for years. Probably because he has. 23 years of age now. I'm not sure we'll ever see him in a West Ham United shirt, which is a massive disappointment, because when you first come in from Everton, I was really excited for Nathan Holland in pre-season friendlies. When we played him, he looked good. He looked like he could hold his own, and he looked like he could fit in. Although friendlies are not much of a barometer, however, send him out on loan to a League One side is. And he's doing okay at Oxford United, to be honest with you. But okay is probably not good enough to have a future at West Ham, particularly when you're 23 years of age like Nathan is. 7 starts, 7 substitute appearances, a couple of goals, a couple of assists to his name. He's doing alright at Oxford. He looks like he's enjoying it. It looks like Oxford fans are enjoying Nathan Holland as well. So as a loan move, for Nathan, it's going really well. For Oxford, it's going quite well. For West Ham, I'm not sure we're going to learn much from this one. Like I said, I don't think we'll ever see Nathan in a West Ham shirt again, which is frustrating really, because he's a really nice lad as well. You know, he's had a horrible time with injuries in the past. You know, when it looked like it was going well for him in his previous loan moves, he got injured. He was out for a lengthy period of time, and I just don't think it's going to quite happen at West Ham. So this loan move, I don't think it's about Nathan coming back to West Ham and challenging for the first team. I think it's probably about finding Nathan a new team, to be honest with you, a new home permanently, and at the end of the season probably join Oxford United on a permanent contract. And you know, League One's still a good standard. It's not a failure from Nathan Holland at all whatsoever. We've seen players like Martin Samuelson that come in, it just doesn't work out for them at West Ham. I think Holland's going down that route. At 23 years of age, he's got to be playing first team football regularly now. It won't be at West Ham. At Oxford United it might be though, but he's still a West Ham player, and his loan move has gone quite well so far. But anyway, that's enough from me. Coming up, we've got 4 clips from 4 different fans. But before we do, just want to point you in the direction of the video sponsor, OneFootball. Completely free app, links in description and pinned comments to get it downloaded and for free. And keep up to date with how these players are going on. It'll ask you for your favourite team, click West Ham, but you can also follow competitions. You can follow League One, see how Oxford United are getting on, how Nathan Holland's getting on there, how Sunderland are getting on with Frederick Alves. Follow the second division in France to find out how Nathan Trott's getting on as well. Especially with the transfer window just round the corner, the rumours are heating up. There's some useless ones and some good ones, but OneFootball do their best to get rid of the ones that you don't need to know about. aggregate the good ones for you in a nice streamlined version of West Ham news for you, combining social media and football in the one football app. It's completely free. Get it downloaded today. Anyway, shall we find out now what a Stevenage fan thinks of Anna? I think we should, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad I've done this video because you'll find out in just a minute why. But let's listen to people that actually watch these players week in, week out, or in some cases, not at all, because they're not playing. Catch you at the end of the video.
Hello everyone, Jack here from SCFC Fan TV to say a few words on Frederick Alves and how I think he's getting on loan at Sunderland from West Ham. Fairly uneventful is how I would sum up his time so far at the club. To be fair to him, he has been kept out of the side mainly by other centre-halves performing so well until recent weeks. He was really strong defensively, and I just don't think there was any room for changing things up, and he wasn't really getting a look in. He's had to rely predominantly on the cup games and sub appearances to get himself any minutes, and I've always thought he's looked alright. Nothing to shout about, nothing to write home about, but he's put in a solid shift. I think most times he's been on the pitch. QPR away in the cup, a game against a side in the division above. I think it was the fourth round of the cup. They put out a very strong team. We actually kept a clean sheet and won on penalties. He started that game, so you know, a highlight really probably of his time so far at Sunderland. Him doing quite well there. Like I say, I think he's been alright. He might get more of an opportunity in recent weeks now that we are experiencing some defensive problems and starting to concede more goals and might change things up. I would hope so anyway. So he might get a bit more of an opportunity in recent weeks, but so far he hasn't really played much. But when he has, I've always thought he's done alright.
Alright, so just a quick thanks for having me on the channel, and let's get into your boy Coventry. So he's been okay. He's made 8 appearances for us, and I think maybe 6 of them have been off the bench and 2 starts. And you can clearly tell that he's been through a Premier League academy because he's very good on the ball, he's got a good passing range, and he's very good at intercepting and reading the game. But he just hasn't really had a chance in our first team. We've got 2 very good midfielders in Jack Taylor and Ollie Norburn, and he just hasn't really had a chance to express himself and show his quality yet. And I'm looking forward to seeing during the rest of the season, maybe if one of our midfielders gets injured, he could start more games and show his quality. But as of now, nothing really yet. But all I've seen really is that he can read the game well. He's very good at intercepting the ball, and he's good going backwards and forwards, kind of like a box to box. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more of him. And again, thank you for having me on the channel. Much appreciated, guys.
Hi, it's Joe Jackford here, Stadium Announcer at Stevenage Football Club, talking to you about Joseph Anang and the season so far. So Stevenage, we love a lone goalkeeper, and taking them from clubs like yourself is always great for us. A young goalkeeper who's coming out on loan for a season to get experience, and he certainly had that this year so far. Lots and lots of games for Joseph. It hasn't been the best for him. Our defence was solid at the back end of last season, and Joseph unfortunately has been at the club when things just haven't been great for the squad. We've let a lot of goals in to the point where a couple of weeks ago Adam Smith has now been brought in, and Joseph has lost his first team place. But you never know. New managers due in within the next couple of days. Joseph, I've really enjoyed watching him. He's athletic, strong, big goalkeeper. He makes some amazing saves, and he's got a whacking great kick on him. So fingers crossed he's going to break that first team again. But it's been a pleasure watching him down at Lamex all season. So yeah, fingers crossed he gets back in and continues to work hard for us.
Hello, I'm Samuel from Fan of Nancy, the first community of supporters in Nancy. Nathan Trott had a somewhat complicated start in Nancy. He started in the second match, and he had the confidence of the first coach in place at this time, but he takes 4 goals despite impressive saves. Without its good performance, Nancy could easily have lost maybe 6 or 7-0. Nevertheless, injuries and the late recruitment of defenders didn't help Nathan to have self-confidence, and the former coach even ended up putting him in the bench. This match will be the last match of this coach, and the new interim coach will make him regain his starting position after just a small injury. Since that, he has gained more and more confidence and has a series of very good performances, allowing him to just generate important points for Nancy. He is also more and more appreciated by the public and by the supporters, despite his English game, which is very different from just French goalkeepers. He is progressing well, and we hope to see him continue to be just at the top as well. And his integration, maybe I think, is very good in the group, despite the language barrier, and we feel that he will be important for the coming months for Nancy to just stay in this division.
There you have it. Thank you to those fans for sending in the videos and getting involved. If you want to see or hear more from them, the link to their channels are in the description below. I'm a bit disappointed by Coventry. Obviously, he doesn't really Callum doesn't make on that he's doing bad or that. He just hasn't had an opportunity. But I think that's what's disappointing. I had high hopes for Connor. Wouldn't have minded him being in and around the first team this season. But would he have got in ahead of Noble or Alex Crowley? Even Alex Crowley struggling to get game time at West Ham. Probably not. So I think a lower move for Coventry made sense. But it looks like, to some extent, the wrong club, if you want. I think Peterborough's almost too good for Connor Coventry at the minute. It would maybe been better served putting him somewhere where he sort of walks straight into the team, if you like. So that's a bit of a disappointment. Good to see Nathan Trott's getting on really well in France. Hopefully Annan gets another opportunity under the new Stevenage manager, whoever he may be. As for Frederick Alves, I think it's another player that we can just write off, really. It is a bit early, and of course he might come good for Sunderland and then come good for West Ham, but my hopes are pretty low, if I'm honest with you. But anyway, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Quite often we'll get people say, can we get a loan report video on the loan players? Well, you can, but myself and Gonzo don't watch them. We don't watch Stevenage, we don't watch Peterborough, so we can't really tell you, and I don't think it's good. I don't think it's fair. So it was interesting to hear from 4 fans that do watch them, that do support those clubs, and they can tell us the reason that the players are not in the team or how they're performing in as well. And hopefully you enjoyed it as well. And if you did, drop a like on it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tomorrow night, myself and Gonzo, we're back with the Wolves preview. Been a while. I missed doing the previews, but back tomorrow. I did one with Matt Jarvis earlier though. If you haven't checked that out, please do. It'll be on your screen in just a minute. I'll catch you in a bit.